Ever since Charlie was a little girl, she had dreams of taking over hell. She had dreams of overthrowing her father. But her father was simply just too powerful. Even though he was an idiot, even though he was an oaf, he needed to get rid of him no matter what. Then she had a plan. If she can make this has-been hotel, she can put on an act, pretend to be a good person, put on a brave face. Then when her daddy comes to rescue her, she'll kill him. That's when it all began. As Charlie was getting the hotel set up, suddenly she would hear whining. She really didn't want to do this, but if she could help this person, she could build up her reputation. She'll be laughed at, seen as a laughingstock. She'll be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Everyone will underestimate her, so when it's time to strike, no one will see it coming. As she walks through, she saw Vaggie, her eye ripped out. Obviously, she was an angel from extermination, but she'll play dumb. As she brought out bandages and fixed up her eye, she said, "Are you okay?" Vaggie would say, "Yeah." "Who are you?" "I'm Charlie, Lucifer's daughter, but don't be scared of me. I know that reputation might be bad, but really, I'm a nice person. Here, let me take you inside." Charlie would take Vaggie inside, and Charlie had an idea. She would brainwash her, turn her into her own personal bodyguard, and she'll use love to do so. She saw how Vaggie looked at her. She blushed a few times, and even though it disgusted her a bit, Vaggie wasn't too bad herself, so using her body to trick her like this wasn't such a bad idea. As the days passed, Charlie would finish her hotel, and before she opened it, she wanted to get with Vaggie. This would make her more loyal to her, and make her a more personal bodyguard. But Charlie would see her more like a loyal puppet or a pet. She would actually start to care about Vaggie a bit, but not as a person, more as a pet to play with. So, as Charlie and Vaggie were talking, Charlie would put a hand on her shoulder and say, "Vaggie, As Charlie would start to laugh in her head, women love this stupid blushing trick. Boys and girls are all the same. Once you get all flustered and shy, they'll fall head first. I like you. Do you want to be together?" Vaggie was shocked as she said, yes, as she hugged, and they both kissed. And Charlie and Vaggie enjoyed each other for that night. After that, it was Charlie's time to share the hotel, just like in the pilot. Everything would go in canon when it came to the pilot, but this time, when Alistair walked in, he sensed something with Charlie. He can tell when people act, and Charlie's putting up one hell of an act, so Alistair was even doubting himself, but is it possible there's more than her that meets the eye? He was going to keep a good eye on her. As time passed, not much would change. Charlie would keep an eye on things and be planning things out, waiting to lure her father in and eventually kill him. But before she can do that, she needed to keep this hotel afloat and get some help to kill Lucifer. So as time came, eventually she would meet Adam. As she came in and looked around, she would smile and say, "Adam, I have a proposal for you. You know how you like to kill demons? And killing demons makes you kind of a big shot?" Adam would say, "Yeah, what's your point, pretty tits?" "How would you like to kill the strongest demon of them all?" "It would help me out a lot." "What are you suggesting?" "I suggest we lay a trap out for my dad to get rid of him. You'll be known as the guy who killed Lucifer, and you would kill that pricky asshole that took away your first girl." Adam would actually smile and say, "Wait, you want me to help you kill your father? This is fucking amazing." "But that's kind of against protocol, so I might have to turn you in." Charlie would say, "Wait, please don't turn me in." "Well, you do if I don't." Lute said, "Sir, we already got the best deal. Please don't." Adam would look and say, "Relax. I can get her to fuck me." He whispered. Charlie hated this, and she was not going to sell herself out to this. Maybe to Vaggie, who actually cared about her, but to Adam, he didn't care at all. She was going to lie and kill him when the time came, but for now, she had to play the part. She said, I'll do anything, really, even sleep with me?" Charlie would nod, as Adam nodded too, but the job has to be done first. Adam would say, "That's fair. Next extermination day? You got it. But how do you know Lucifer will be there?" Charlie said, "Oh, trust me. He'll be there all right." As Charlie then walked out, she was so happy. Her plan was finally coming to fruition, and she was finally going to get rid of her smug father. Everything was set. as then Charlie left. Afterwards, however, she noticed that Angel came back abused. At first she was funny. After all, Angel Dust was under Charlie, the princess of hell herself. And he didn't even ask her to get rid of him? That's truly pathetic. But then she realized something. Maybe Angel thought that way because they thought she was weak. She was pretending to be nice, to be a wolf in sheep's clothing, but the fact that he thought she was weak got to her. After all, she can't be seen as a weakling, even if she has a nice attitude. This started to piss her off as Angel came back more and more and more. Each time Angel Dust came back, it was like saying to her, hey, you're too weak to do anything. I'm under your roof and I do whatever I want and I get abused. And that's bad for business. Angel Dust's face being messed up makes other people not want to join. Charlie knew she had to do something. She would walk over to Valentino's place. As she knocked on the door, he would open it and say, well, the princess of hell, what can I do you for? Don't tell me you're here to perform. We can make. Charlie would say, I've been pretending to be someone I'm not for so long. And it's been so draining and dragging. But I can finally do something. Something that will leave the edge off. Valentino got excited, extremely excited. This sounded like she was gonna perform for him. He said, does this mean? Yes, it does. Please, Valentino, use me in ways I can't be used before. Valentino would pick her up, excited, but then suddenly, she would stab him in the neck, killing him with an angelic dagger. As he fell to the floor dead, Charlie would just laugh and say, man, you are dumb. Boys are so easy to manipulate. Just like Vaggie, but at least Vaggie's cute. And Charlie would then go back to her hotel. And with Valentino mysteriously dying, Angel wouldn't be abused anymore. He'd be a lot happier. And honestly, without that, he wouldn't feel the need to do drugs as much. Angel was slowly getting fixed. But Charlie didn't care. All she cared about was Angel not getting abused so people wouldn't join. And to make sure that she didn't seem weak. As the time came, eventually, Extermination Day was going to happen. But Charlie needed to make it look like she was putting up a fight at least. So, she prepared to pack her bags and go to Cannibal Town. As she went there, Alistair said, what are you doing? I know you know how the angels are harmed, Alistair. Tell me. Alistair would say, well, first, Charlie would say, you want to make a deal? How about this? I won't destroy you. As her suddenly horns would pop over her head, her eyes would turn red, as Alistair would shake, and he felt the ground shake below him. As he looked at her and said, okay, deal. Splendid. As they went over to Cannibal Town, she met with Rosie and began to talk to her about, defending the hotel. She said, I have angelic weapons that can defend against angels. Your people can taste angels. Won't that be amazing? She says, perfect. We're going to do a musical. Charlie said, okay. As she went on, she began to sing, you can eat an angel, you can taste its wings, you can taste its blood, you can taste its fear, and you can come out today. As when she sung, something happened. She let it all out. She let all her hatred. She let all of her evil, all of her frustration. And the cannibals loved it as they jumped for joy and began to walk out, ready to eat an angel. As the big battle happened, right before, Charlie would call her dad and beg him to show up, saying, please come rescue me. I'm scared. Lucifer needed to save Charlie. After all, it was his daughter. Even though that he promised not to get involved on Extermination Day, he had to break this rule. After all, they promised not to attack her in the first place. So if they break that, he can break this. So he said, don't worry, I'll show up. Thank you, Dad, I love you. As she hung up, she began to laugh. Finally, it was gonna come into mission. Finally, she can kill her father. Then she'll take over hell and rule it in her image. First, she must change some things, however. The battle started just like in canon, but this time, as Charlie and Adam battled, it was more of a show, to entertain people, to trick them, to make them think that Adam wasn't working for Charlie. As they continued the battle, eventually Lucifer would show up and punch Adam away. As Charlie was in Lucifer's arms, she looked up and said, Dad, I love you. He said, "I love you too. I love how stupid and gullible you are." Suddenly, she would stab him straight in the skull. As Lucifer fell down, he died. The king of hell dead. As everyone was shocked, Adam started to laugh. "I did it! I took down Lucifer. Now I get to fuck his daughter on his corpse." As Charlie and Adam started to make out on her dead dad's corpse, suddenly, Vaggie would start to cry, as Charlie would then cut off Adam's head with an angelic weapon. "Sorry, but I'm already taken," as she would put a leash on Vaggie. Vaggie said, "What are you doing?" "Shh, you're like my royal pet." "Vaggie, I was manipulating you at first, but I actually kind of like you now. I'm now the queen of hell. You all will listen to me." Lute said, "You bastard, we had a deal." Charlie would laugh and say, "Oh, deal. Could you really trust me? I'm literally a demon, bitch." As then, she would murder Lute and all the angelic angels. As Angel Dust would say, "Charlie, are you okay? Get the fuck out." "What? Get the fuck out?" "I no longer had a need for a hotel. All that was just to lure my dad in so he would die. Now I can take over hell with my pet Vaggie. Now leave. Now." Everyone would leave. As then Charlie would take over hell as the new queen. And that's where we're going to leave things off. How do you think Charlie would rule hell? Please let me know in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I love you all, and peace out.